Hey everyone! So today we have a video that I'm very excited about, even though I think I say that about every single video. We actually aren't going to be in the garden today, but we are still going to be doing a lot with plants, specifically my house plants. I don't know if you can tell, the room I'm currently in is very different than it used to be. This is my office. I do work from home and it used to be white. It is now pink. So basically at the end of last year, I think it was November, we started working with Metro Design to redo the two rooms that are up here, which is my office that I'm in right now, and then the living area next door. And I like to keep the majority of my houseplants, like 99% of them up here, because if I have them kind of spread out throughout our home too much, I will forget some of them and forget to water them, which I do with the one that is usually in our bedroom. So we started this in November. Nothing that we changed is structural. It's all just cosmetic because this is the first time I haven't rented a place and it's actually ours. So I can do whatever I want to it, constrained by budget. So we did a design, and then since the garden is up here, so the garden is out that way, the front, that way in the back, I did ask if we could wait to do anything until I got all my plants outside, because I started seeds inside starting in March. I didn't want to have to worry about moving things out of here when they painted, because I did not know how much went into painting. Like every single thing was covered. It was kind of incredible, the work that people do. So they were nice enough to wait till after that was over. So it was just, is it last week now? Early last week, they came and took 2 days to do kind of everything that was in the design. Well, everything that we went with. There is some more stuff in the design, like the bathroom, that we just didn't do right now for our budget. And then if we ever want to do that later, they do still have the design, so we can always just work off of that. But everything that they were going to do kind of in this round just took 2 days, and then we were leaving to Mackinac Island right after that. So I haven't really gotten a chance to enjoy it much or move anything really back up here yet. So today what I'm going to do is I will take you around and show you everything that we've done. I think I also have videos of what it looked like before. We've been here since 2020, May of 2020, so it took about 3 years before, we kind of settled on what we wanted to change and going through and doing that. So yeah, I'm really excited. We're going to, I'll show you everything we're doing, and then we're going to move all my houseplants back up, which have been down in our bedroom. I am excited to get them all moved back into their places, although at the same time, I kind of liked having them all in the bedroom, so I'm like, maybe I just keep all the plants there and start with new ones, but I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna get everything moved back up here today, but before we do that, I'll show you around all the stuff that's kind of new or was here before, show you before and after. It's not yet completely done. There are still some things that I'm waiting on, some decisions that I'm still holding off on to see kind of what I want to do. And I want to get your opinion on some things that I'm going back and forth on. But let's go ahead and I'll show you what we did. Well, what the team did. I just watched. So this is what my office looks like now. I apologize if it's echoey. It'll be less echoey once we get everything moved back in here. But I do want to take some time, because there's a lot of stuff up here, a lot of stuff that I don't really need anymore. I want to take time moving things back up here that I know I really want up here, and then everything else I will just donate or give away to friends. But the most obvious change in here has been the paint color. I love pink, it is my favorite color, but I didn't want something that kind of looked like my room as a child. So I wanted something that kind of looked like an adult pink or a mature pink. And I think we really found it. It looks, I would say, a little bit more like beigey on camera. It's slightly more pink looking in real life. But all of the paint is from Benjamin Moore. On the walls right here is Southern Charm. And then on the ceiling is Bashful. And it's a really, really light pink, almost looks white. In fact, this desk, which I've had for maybe almost a decade from IKEA, was white. I decided to also paint it with the Bashful color, and I swear it looks the same. But I think there's a little hint of pink that you can see in there. So I think this is really pretty. We also added this chandelier, which I found on Wayfair. I really love it. Actually, let me turn off the lights so you can see the details a little bit easier. So there it is without the lights on. It basically is plant themed. A lot of plant themed things in here. Trying not to make it all plants, but I think that might be how it's turning out. You can see there's just some green leaves on it, and then it's kind of like an aged brownish, very light brown color. It's really pretty. not too expensive. One of these things is realizing how expensive everything is, but for lighting, I think it was under $200. I will link everything below in case you are interested in it, but I really like that chandelier, and it provides some much needed light because there wasn't that extra light in this room. There was nothing up there before, it was just kind of the cover. So I don't think I purchased any new furniture for in here. The desk I had, the chair's my mom's. This rug, the pink rug here, is from, I think, Wayfair years ago. I had this at our last place. That rug by the door is just from Amazon. I have a random pot sitting there. And then the only other furniture I have in here right now, there's the front garden looking really good. The only other furniture I have right now is this, which is from Wayfair. So I think in here I just kind of want, I don't know, brown accents with the pink. And I do like some storage. So this was in the main room, just over there, that I'll show you in a little bit. I think it makes more sense in here. I did have a shelving unit in here, which I didn't love it in here. I don't know if I'm gonna move back up, we'll kind of see, but like I said, I'm gonna wait to move things back up when I know I have the perfect place for them and really do love them. But we also have some shelves that I ordered that we didn't hang yet because I wasn't 100% sure where I wanted them. So I'm gonna get everything moved up, see where I kind of want the shelves, and then they will come back and hang them. Maybe it's something I can figure out to do myself, but they just do things so much better and faster than I ever would. But I think I want to have like the shelves here, and then I can put some more plants on those shelves. What I'm also doing in this room that will move up today is putting all of my pink plants in here. So I have, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 pink plants. They're all gonna live in this pink room. Is that gonna be too much? Maybe. Do I care? Absolutely not. So we'll see how those plants look today, and then I just have like random stuff lying around that I need to figure out what to do with. If we swing over to this side, there are 3 doors here. One of the things I went back and forth on was whether or not to have them paint the doors or keep them white. Because this door's open right now to the bathroom, because there were 3, I wanted this to blend in with the wall. So we did paint those all pink on this side, and I think that was a very good decision. Now my favorite part, which I saw on Instagram something similar and knew I wanted to do, is this wallpapered closet. I don't know if you love it as much as I do, but I'm absolutely in love with it. The wallpaper is from, I think it's John Deerian The Rose is what it's called. Now, the plus side is that I love it. They also did the baseboards here in pink. I think that goes really well. The downside is now I don't want to put anything in this closet because it looks so pretty. I think what I'm gonna do is stick to all white baskets. I just got these off of Amazon. I thought they were the same as these. Clearly they are not, and they are smaller. But I think if I have all white baskets in here, then that won't take away from the wallpaper. But this is such a nice surprise. And I'm not usually a person that's good with like making statements in house decor because I'm always afraid I'm gonna start to dislike it and not want it anymore. But I feel like in a closet, it's just perfect. And yeah, this is 100% my favorite part of this room. No offense to anything else in this room. But that's everything in here. I still have some stuff in the bathroom that I stored in there while they were painting. But yeah, this is the pink room of my adulthood dream. So I'm really, really, really excited about that. I will continue to give you updates in here as far as I start to get things together and shelves put up. But today, like I said, is just kind of moving the houseplants back up in here. But yeah, that is my office. It makes me really happy to walk up here. Now we're gonna go next door to the living space. Actually, I forgot one more thing. So one of the questions that I'm going back and forth on is whether to also paint this door pink or keep it white. Obviously, it's much easier to not paint it and then decide if I want to paint it versus painting it and going back. But let me know what you think. That's something they said they can definitely come back and do. I still have all of the extra leftover paint. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. There really isn't anything else. I mean, the switches over there, which is for some system that doesn't work, some speaker system. The vents are white. The very inside of the windows are white. So there are still some white accents. Yeah, let me know what you think about these doors. Pink or white? Now coming in here to the living space. So here is a closet we did nothing to. That has all of my garden stuff in it. It's not very deep. Maybe it goes like a foot back, if not less, but we didn't change anything there. And then in here, we again updated the paint color and I love it so much. I was going back and forth on 2 different greens. I knew I wanted a very light green. The one I went with was Morning Zen, which was a bit more yellow compared to the other one, which I can't even remember the name, that was a bit more blue. So the walls, and then there's a specific name for this part that I forgot, but this part of the ceiling is Morning Zen. And then up in the vaulted area is Urban Garden, which I think is, no, not Urban Garden, Urban Nature, which I think is like 1 shade darker, but you can't really tell, but I really like it. Also added another chandelier here. This was from Etsy, also for a chandelier from what I was seeing is also considered pretty well priced. I will link that down below, but I think they were almost sold out of it online. I'm not sure if it was this one or not, but if it's still there, I will link it. Again, it just adds a lot of light, especially in here, because with it off, I really just have these 4 lights and my grow light once I hang it back up. So I love having the extra light in here. Over here, we did decide to keep the framing around the windows white, also the door and the frame around it white in here. I really like this decision. I think I like having these a little bit lighter and brighter to kind of stand out in this room, but that was something I was going back and forth on, so I'm glad for that part that we left it white. Now, let me talk a little bit about everything that's hanging on the walls so far. So these 2 mirrors are from my mom. I think they're older than I am. I do need to clean them. I need to clean a lot in this room. And then this shelf is from Target. I had that already. I'm gonna put my pothos plant curtain back up there today with you. This couch is from Wayfair, had it before we moved in here. Really like the green on green. These pillows I got from a garden center that I can't remember which, is it Pacia's? It might have been Pacia's Garden Center, which has like a little home decor section. These tables I've had. This one was an antique store, absolutely love it. This one's from Wayfair. I like it, a little bit less than the antique store one, but this is why I love antique stores. This was cheaper than this, and it's so much better quality and so much more detailed. So anything I can get from a thrift store, I definitely will. Then the rug down here is from rugs.com. It's 8 by 10. Again, rugs are one of those things that are so expensive, but this I think was also around $200. So that's where I found the cheapest rug for what I wanted in mind for the size. And for me, one, I don't really care about, I don't know, the quality of rugs very much anyway, but I know in this room, I mean, we have cats that like to claw things. This is where I repot houseplants. So it was gonna get dirty walking back and forth between the gardens. In fact, there is some dirt right here on it that I need to vacuum up. So I don't want anything in this room to be precious. I want to be able to get things dirty, maybe accidentally leave some stains and not really worry about it. But I really like this rug here. The other rug we have is over here. This I just got, I think after I knew we were redesigning this room. It is from, is it Ruggable, which has the washable rugs. I kind of think maybe I should have gone with a darker beige because it is gonna get dirty, but I can throw it in the wash. I've already thrown it in the washer one time, I think. I also might layer another rug similar to this, like another jute rug on top of it that can get a little bit more dirty, not really sure yet. I got this little tray for my shoes, which is too small and barely fits my shoes, so I might look for something different there. Now on to other furniture. You can see here I am storing a bunch of stuff everywhere. This was a folding table and I used it for almost 3 years. I knew I needed some sort of workstation on here and I knew I wanted it to be more of a standing height than a sitting height. So this is actually an island, a kitchen island from Anthropologie's home section. And when it first came up here, because there was a lot more stuff up here and I wasn't used to something this big, I was like, oh, this was a mistake and it's too large. But now that I have kind of moved things out of here that don't belong up here, it works perfectly. So there are 4 drawers in it, which I can use for storage. On top, I just have a bunch of stuff I need to put away that I haven't put away yet. And then back behind it are 2 bookcases. So I always knew I wanted bookshelves back here both shelves for plants, shelves for my garden books or any books in general, and then just any other little knickknacks I want to put here, baskets. I ordered two at first because I wasn't sure if I wanted them next to each other, or let me come over here, or if I wanted maybe like one on this side of the table, one on this side. And after playing around with the configuration, I knew I wanted them next to each other. So I'm gonna add one more over here on the right. The bookshelves are from Crate and Barrel. It's the Calypso collection. There's a few different variations of like combinations of shelves and storage that you can get. So what I went with was the open shelves and then closed storage underneath, because I want to be able to throw everything back there and have no one see it. I think the other ones, there were like glass doors, again, open shelves on the bottom, but nope, want it closed. So I just ordered the last one a few days ago. I think it'll be here next month. And I think that'll be the last kind of piece of furniture ordered for this room. Other furniture I have are these two chairs, which I got from my aunt. I forget what kind of chairs they are, but I posted them on Instagram when I got them a couple of years ago, and someone who knows about antiques and thrifting was like, these are great chairs. So I'm very lucky that she gave them to me. I mean, there is some wear and tear, some things are taped together, but again, I like that look with my furniture. So yeah, I really like having these chairs in the seating area. And then the other piece of furniture is this table that we've had forever, also from Wayfair. I don't know if it's 100% going to stay here. I think it's going to stay here for now, and I really like it more now with these bookshelves than I did before. Before it was just a mismatch of all the furniture that we've kind of collected over the years, from before I knew my husband to while we started living together, and nothing really seemed to go together, but I really like this now. My grow light will go up here once I hang it back up. So in the winter, when I move in my lemon tree or anything else that likes to be under the grow light, it'll be in this corner. On the table, I have the bouquets that I've made in the last 2 days. I have so many flowers already. I think the two in the glass jars I'm actually going to put down out front with a sign that says free bouquets for someone to take, because I have so many flowers, which makes my heart really happy. And then I also just have this little stool here that I can stand up on to reach things high up on the shelf if I need to. Yeah, that is all of the furniture. Now I'll show you the other things that they installed. Let's start over here, because this is the part that I thought might be the weirdest, but also I don't care if it's weird. We hung some curtain rods. So I told them that I wanted some way to hang flowers and herbs to dry, and I wanted it to look pretty. Last year, I used command hooks and hung some branches from this little area here in that corner of the vaulted ceiling. This is much more permanent and much more sturdy, and I think it looks really pretty. We originally had 4, so these curtain rods are from Amazon. I think the ones that they found, so when they did the design, they recommended furniture and all of the other accents, and then I tried the best I could to find cheaper alternatives on Amazon, which I did for a few of these, and this is one of them. They are really great quality. I mean, as far as I can tell, curtain rods. Again, I will link them down below. I originally bought 4, but after looking at the measurements with them when they were installing them, we went with 3 instead. And I think they're spaced about 18 inches apart. If we'd done 4, they were going to be about 12 inches apart. And I don't think that would have been enough kind of vertical space for the plants to hang down. You can see I'm already starting to use it. This makes me really happy. I don't know if I'll leave these here all year round or eventually move them, not the curtain rods, the plants, I'll leave them all year round, but like when my herbs are dry, I'm going to take them off and store them in jars. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this kind of in the winter, but I still just think it looks really pretty with the little accents here. Then the other thing that we installed, well, they installed, that was also, I think, much needed, were some hooks. And again, I got these from Amazon. You can't see most of them, but here is what it looks like. Just again, that small kind of goldy brass color, and mostly it's for my hats, so I can just grab and go. Also, when it gets cooler outside, I'll probably hang either a jacket or long sleeve shirt up here. So those are my 2 most used gardening hats. I hung a little picture here to cover just some of those controls for the speaker system that doesn't work. I hung the basket that I just got on our Michigan road trip and put in Gomphrena from last summer. I love how this looks. And then over here, I just hung a dried floral wreath. I did not make this. I got this from someone on Instagram. and my little kind of tool belt that I'll use in the garden. So I love how this corner is coming together. And I think, oh no, one more thing. I did end up getting a couple stools here. So these I can sit on their bar stool height and work if I want to. I could also move them and use them as plant stands. Like I might take, let's say I take this stool, I put it up against the wall over there, and I could put a plant on it. So I think those will be nice to use for multi-purpose. So now, with all that said, which I think I might have rambled a bit too long, so sorry about that, we're gonna start moving the houseplants back up. I moved the plants themselves down to our bedroom. All of the pots, which are much heavier than the plants, I just put out on the deck because it was easier just to move them out the door than to carry them up and down the stairs. So the pots are pretty much in place. We're gonna move all my plants up. I'll go through all the plants with you. I'll try to be as fast as I can. And then we'll see what it looks like now that all my plants are moved back up. So I think I have all of the plants in this room now that I want to be in this room. I do need to make sure they are happy with the amount of light. And if not, I might have to move them around to other places, but that'll be okay. We get the evening, afternoon sun through these two doors. Now, not all the plants are in their permanent places. I think a lot of the larger ones are where I would like them to be. A lot of these that are sitting on this cabinet right now, I think these will go on the shelves above. So I think I am leaning towards the shelves in here. I can put more of my pink plants up here. Now, I don't want just pink plants in here. My idea is basically any plant that has pink on it will be in here, and then any plant that is not pink will be in a pink pot. Maybe. That's my long-term goal. We'll see how it does. But so far, I like all the pinks together. I'm very into monochromatic, like outfits, designs, everything like that. So for me, this is looking really nice. So now let's move everything back up into the living area. Let me tell you, nothing will make you think you might have too many houseplants than having to carry each one of them upstairs on its own. So I'm done. Not everything is in its permanent place because again, I'm waiting for a new shelf, kind of seeing if I like where things are, but I'm really happy to have all my plants back up here. It makes this room so much more full of life. So let me show you what it looks like. Let's start over here because I feel like this one is more put together. The plants were pretty much in these places already, so they'll likely stay right here where they are. But over here, I have my aglaonema. This is one of my oldest houseplants. It was one of the first ones I ever got. Very easy, great for lower light situations. So I would highly, highly recommend this plant. I think it's the Silver Bay aglaonema or Chinese evergreen. Behind it, I have a pothos plant, or not a pothos, sorry, a philodendron plant. I love the way this cascades down this plant stand. The plant stand is from my aunt. It's old, a little bit wobbly, but really pretty. Then I have my pothos plant curtain, which also has some philodendron in it. This is all made from propagations of my other plants. Oh, look at the reflection in the mirror on the left. It looks pretty too. Oh, I really love how this is coming together. Anyway, this curtain I've trimmed multiple times, planted things back in. It's just in a plastic flower box from I think Amazon that's maybe 3 feet long, and then on top of a shelf from Target that I showed you earlier. I have been asked what I will do when it like overfills the box and needs to be potted up. I have no idea. I will wait to figure that out when I get there, but I love how that looks. The only thing I wish I would change is having more philodendrons versus pothos. So the pothos grows really long really quickly, but it's not as bushy as the philodendrons. So if I want to completely cover that white flower box, philodendrons will do that a lot better than the pothos. But that's what that looks like. Coming over here then, again, these are basically in the same spot. On the left here is my cordyline. I think what I need in the space is something to the right of the cordyline that's taller, but obviously the taller, larger plants, the more expensive they are. So as the cordyline grows, I might shift it more that way. But I tried that, I just didn't like how it looked, so I like it closer to that couch. but I'll be on the lookout for something that's a bit taller to go in that corner. And I also might change my mind when I actually hang stuff on this wall. So we'll see. And then I have my other ZZ plant, regular, again, super easy plant, just sitting here between these two chairs. So most of the plants here, I think, are pretty much good to go. Now on this side, it doesn't look quite as neat and tidy, but not too terrible. So first on this table, I have this fern. I want to find another plant to go in the smaller pot because those two pots were part of a matching set that I got, I think, on sale at one of the garden centers this past spring. So I want to find something, maybe even like a floral something, maybe an orchid to go there. I'm not sure yet, but I'll be on the lookout for that. I do have two of my string of hearts here. I actually forgot I had this other variegated one. I think I'll move this into my office once I have shelves, but for right now, this spot gives them really good light. I think I'll probably keep this one here on the corner, trailing down the leg. I moved all of my prints onto that little shelf down there to have this a bit more cleaned off so you can see what it'll look like. Then I have my shelves. So nothing here is necessarily in the place it's going to go because I am waiting for the third shelf to come. So here are some of my thoughts. So up here on the top and the back is my pothos that was in my office that was trailing along the wall behind the door. So when I get the third shelf, that'll probably come to about here. So the plant would be up there. And then I'll figure out if I really do want it to trail along the walls or not. If not, I will still keep it up there, but just trim the vines so that they are not splitting on the floor and they are as long as the shelves. I did put another pothos in front of it. I think this one I'm actually going to use to thicken up another plant because I just have too many trailing plants and not enough to put them. Or when I get the shelves, maybe I can put that in there. But for now, it's going to sit up high so it can trail down. Coming in here, I have another philodendron Brazil. I've basically only bought, I think, one or two pothos, one philodendron Brazil, one like regular philodendron, and just propagated all of the other ones from it. I do have, though, this variegated pothos that I got, I think, earlier this year. That's still a bit condensed, so it can fit on a shelf without having to trail. Oh, I do have also this calathea, which calatheas I'm always terrible at keeping alive, keeping them from not like getting brown and crusty on the leaves. This is it's from Proven Winners, but I think the grower is somewhere in Virginia. I forget the name of it. But these houseplants come in little bowls like this with just the roots in the water. So I will add fresh water once every few months, but look how healthy it looks. I do nothing other than refill some of the water. I think it's Virginia Plant Company that grows it. And I see these at Home Depot. I got this from the event I went to in November, but I see them basically everywhere that they have Proven Winners. This was my original philodendron Brazil, which now sits over here. I've trimmed this so many times. I think I am going to keep it short so it doesn't block whatever will be on the shelf below. And then another philodendron that is long and needs a place to trail. So I think that will probably stay on that side, but I'll know more when I get all of my shelves, all of the books up here, everything that I need, and in order. So one last little sweep of this room and my plants. It's definitely coming together, and that makes me feel really, really happy. So that's going to be everything for today's video. I definitely didn't expect to work up a sweat carrying the house plants up. I don't know how many trips I made. I mean, however many plants I have, that's how many times I went down and up. But it feels nice to have everything again back up here. I can't wait to get everything that I still have kind of up on the walls, the shelves up. But oh, it just makes me so happy. I've just kind of had this idea in my head of what I want it to look like for a little bit over half of a year now. And now it's here and it's really pretty. So that's going to be everything for today. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video where we will be back out in the garden.